Anxiety, mental health, personal growth, and the one verse you need. I used to feel like I was drowning. My anxiety was a constant hum in the background of my life. My personal growth had hit a wall, and my mental health was at an all-time low. I was doing all the right things, reading the books, trying to meditate, building good habits. But nothing was clicking. I was still stuck. Then I stumbled on a single, ancient piece of wisdom that changed everything. For years, my life was governed by a quiet, persistent state of emergency. That's the only way I can describe my anxiety. It wasn't always a full-blown panic attack. Most days, it was just a low-grade static that colored every thought and decision. And the most frustrating part? I was trying so hard. I consumed self-help content like it was my job. But instead of growing, I felt like I was running in place with a heavy, invisible backpack of worry. My attempts to manage my anxiety had become their own exhausting, full-time job. I was tired, and I was losing hope. My breaking point wasn't some big, dramatic moment. It was a quiet morning where I looked at my to-do list and felt completely paralyzed by the roar of anxiety. In that moment of profound defeat, all my strategies felt useless. My own strength wasn't enough. I finally admitted to myself, I can't carry this by myself. It was an admission of total weakness, but in that surrender, something shifted. The verse that changed everything. Later that day, I came across a single verse from the Bible. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7. It said, "Casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you." I'd probably heard this verse before, but after hitting rock bottom, it was like seeing it for the first time. It wasn't about managing my anxiety or coping with it. It was about casting it. The goal wasn't to carry the weight better, it was to give it away entirely. The word cast means to throw it, to fling it like a hiker throwing a heavy pack to the ground. And it says to cast all your anxiety, every single mind-dividing thought, onto him. You can do this because of the second part of the verse, because he cares for you. The God of the universe isn't annoyed by your need. He invites you to bring your burdens to him precisely because he cares. So how do you actually do it? For me, it became a tangible process. First, name the anxiety specifically. Instead of a vague dread, I'd say, God, I am anxious about this deadline because I'm afraid I'll fail. Naming the fear takes away its overwhelming power. Second, create a physical gesture of release. I would literally open my hands, palms up, and then turn them over, physically acting out dropping the worry I just named. Third, I'd follow it with a simple, direct prayer. God, I'm throwing this on to you. It's not mine anymore. I give this to you. Finally, and this is the hardest part, refuse to pick it back up. When the anxious thought returns, you'll have to recognize it and say, nope, I already cast that. It's a constant process, like exercising a muscle. For so long, I thought personal growth meant becoming strong enough to handle anything. But true growth is about becoming humble enough to admit that you can't. Now, this doesn't replace the incredible value of therapy, but for me, this was the piece that made everything else click. The hum of anxiety still shows up some days, but now I know what it is. It's a signal, not to spiral, but to cast. It's a reminder to let go. And in that release, I've found more peace than all my years of striving ever gave me. You don't have to drown. You don't have to carry it all. You can let it go. I'd love to hear from you. What is one anxiety, one care that you have been carrying? If you feel comfortable, just name it in the comments below as your own act of acknowledging it. And if this was valuable to you, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing so we can continue this journey together. Thanks for watching. For